I wanted to talk to you today about the novel, The Thing About Home by Rhonda McKnight. I have my talking points here so that I don't forget anything. I read this on my Kindle, so you'll see the book cover up above. So this is the book cover. So The Thing About Home by Rhonda McKnight, it's a sweet Christian romance novel, and there's a lot of message. There's a lot that goes on in the book. I really enjoyed the characters, the setting. There was just this gentle tug, I felt that the novel really spoke to me. And one thing that happens in this novel, we have a Casey Black. She's a model, and she's now a social media influencer. And what I felt was unique about The Thing About Home, you read a lot of novels where a woman gets left at the altar. It's one of those tropes that you just see in romance novels. I enjoyed how Rhonda McKnight took that trope and gave it a twist. Casey is getting ready to renew her vows with her husband, and they've been married, I think, 5 or 7 years or so. And at the last minute, they're about to walk down the aisle. He tells her he can't do it. So now all of her social media followers are disappointed, and she loses followers, and things just kind of blow up. So to get away, to relax, she goes and meets her father's family for the first time. And this woman is in her 30s, and she's never met her father's family. Her father died when she was a baby. So that's what her mom told her. But now she's finding out all of these things. And when she's down south, it's a different setting. It's a lot different than being in New York City. So I liked how she met someone who was totally opposite from her, Nigel. He's the person that handles her grandmother's farm. So there's the Blacks, that's her family. They have this huge farm, and they grow all kinds of things on there. And Nigel manages the farm. And I liked the attraction between them. It was strong, but yet there was conflict because they were so different. And I also enjoyed reading about Casey's time on the farm, because it's something about farming is just soothing and relaxing. Just putting a seed to soil and seeing plants thrive, especially if you've never done that before. If you're going through something emotional, just doing something routine like that, something that you're not used to, and being successful at it gives you a little bit of encouragement. And I enjoyed that she got to meet her grandmother. Her grandmother is really, really old, and she's almost 100, but she still does a lot of stuff. She exercises every day, she bakes, and she just keeps busy within the community. And that's really great to see. And another thing that was unusual about The Thing About Home, and this doesn't happen really often in books for me, because my childhood was kind of strange. But anyway, I thought that the book, little things that the author mentioned, I kind of remembered them in my childhood, but the memories were dormant. Like I hadn't thought about that in a long time. The dormant memories that were unlocked, the 100-year-old grandmother, or nearly 100-year-old grandmother, she makes some zucchini bread. She gets up in the middle of the night and makes some zucchini bread. So when Casey wakes up in the morning, she sees it's a zucchini bread, and she'd never had it before. And she really likes it. She thinks it's really good. I was thinking about when I was a child. I wasn't raised around my grandmother. I didn't see hardly any of my immediate family growing up. I mean, I saw them a few times because we would live far away from my immediate, my extended family. I stayed with I have my sisters and my mom and dad, but our extended family was not within driving distance. I mean, they were like, if you want to drive to their house, it's going to take 14 hours, and I'm not exaggerating. So we didn't really see them much. So I didn't really have a strong relationship with my extended family, not one of them. And I have a big extended family. Anyway, my grandmother, I didn't really see her very often. We went to visit my grandmother and one time, and I was about maybe 11 or 12, and she really likes to bake. And she made some zucchini bread. I had never had it before. It was delicious. And after that, I told my mom, I said, hey, I really like that grandmother made that zucchini bread. My mom would make it for me because I really liked it. It was good. And I hadn't thought about that in years until I read this book, because I think when the zucchinis are going to come in, when I start seeing them at the grocery store, if I remember to do this, I'm going to get some, and I'm going to make some zucchini bread because I haven't had it in a long time. And another thing that was mentioned in the book, when they were doing the gardening, they used fish heads as fertilizer. My dad used to like to go fishing, and he did like gardening. And so I remember he dragged me and my sisters to go fishing because we didn't feel like doing that. He would take us to go fishing, and then what he would do, he says, we're going to use these fish heads. We're going to use them to fertilize the garden. I remember him bringing in these live fish. He had to cut the heads off. I hadn't thought about that in years until I read this book. And we would take the fish heads and he would plant the plants, and we would put the fish heads beside the plant and then cover them up so that it would help to fertilize the plants. And I had forgotten all about that. And I think the whole point of this book, when something happens to you, you need to keep your faith in God, and sometimes you just need to step back. Now, I highly doubt a lot of people will have the luxury of going away for a long time, like Casey did, for months or whatever, because everybody probably still has to go to work. But you need to step back and reflect, take some time, away from that surrounding, and just think, pray, and maybe even build some new relationships with people that you haven't seen in a long time or have ever seen. Because sometimes when you build relationships with new people, it gives you a fresh perspective on your life. So this book was definitely a must read. I went to Amazon and I saw that there was a lot of great reviews. So you need to read this book if you haven't. It is so good. It is so good. It is so emotional. And you might even remember some stuff from your own childhood when you read this book, because I know I did. So that was an excellent book. And if you like books such as The Thing About Home, then I highly suggest that you head on over to the TikTok shop and consider my novels, my Christmas book bundle. It's 4 novels, and all of the novels have an inspirational message. And my personal favorite out of all 4 of the books that are part of the book bundle is Rocky Road Dreams. And if you enjoyed The Thing About Home, about how Casey goes back and finds relatives that she's never met before, you have to read Rocky Road Dreams. I'm not saying the exact same thing happens, but it's very similar. That's all I'm saying. I don't want to say more because it'll give a spoiler, but you need to read Rocky Road Dreams, because sometimes you need that family connection. You just don't know it yet. So check them out. All of them have had great reviews, great 5-star reviews. So the book bundle comes with 4 books. There's also plenty of stickers, swag, a bookmark. You'll receive a lot of goodies when you get the Christmas book bundle. So check it out. Check it out in the TikTok shop. You'll enjoy it, and tell your friends as well. Again, this video was sponsored by Divine Desserts Publishing. Take care and have a good day.